Hey Cancer, welcome to your December 2020 general reading. This reading is going to be for you Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Of course, it is not going to resonate with all of you guys, okay? Don't get corns on your feet trying to make a shoe fit that doesn't. Take what take what applies and throw away the rest, okay? Wow, this is a big time for everybody. I don't even know how to start this reading other than to just kind of jump in. But before we do, I guess we should go over some dates, right? Um, well, first of all, since we're in Sagittarius season, for us, that directly means for you that you are tackling sixth house things. Sixth house is connected to Virgo energy. It's all about your work, service. It's your daily things, your daily duties, like your daily routines. And in some cases, can even be about your enemies. So that is a big focus on you guys, or for you guys this month, right? Excuse me in advance if I say something wrong. I've been saying Pluto Saturn conjunction to certain signs. Like literally, I feel like I'm in a Mercury retrograde, so just excuse me if something goes wrong, but just want to put that out there. But yeah, for you guys, sixth house stuff, right? We are having a new moon solar eclipse in Sagittarius on the 14th. We are going to be having Sagittarius, or excuse me, Mercury going to Sagittarius on the 15th, which actually is going to be really, really, really good. I've been telling everybody this, right now Mercury is in Venus, which can get a little sticky just because that means it has more people in their feelings. So if there's things that you need to get off your chest, it's a little bit safer to do it towards the middle of the month, and not necessarily because you won't say things right, which you might not, but really so that the person on the opposite end can actually hear and receive what it is that you have to say, because there can be some mix up in communications when we are talking about Mercury and Scorpio energy, right? Because it's a lot of communicating or vomiting the feelings and the things that we kind of have to get out and look at in order to really have productive conversations. So there's that, and we'll get into more of that because it is showing up in your read in just a moment. But also, big deal. Everyone's talking about it. If you haven't heard, December 21st, huge conjunction, right? That's that Jupiter in Saturn conjunction that I've been talking about. Now, this is something that happens every 200 years. I'm sorry, every 20 years. But the thing is, for the last 200 years, it's been happening always in earth signs, right? Earth signs are connected to money, possessions, government, big corporations, that type of thing. Well, this is going to be the first time in 200 years that it's actually happening in an air sign, which is going to be 0 degrees Aquarius, which is a really kind of beautiful thing. A lot of astrologers are projecting that this is basically like the gateway, kind of like the beginnings of that walking into age of Aquarius, right? Because it is at 0 degrees, that is endless possibilities. So it's actually really, really good. It's a big shift. I know that we all feel something coming. That is what we're feeling, right? And because it is shifting in an air sign, this is going to make us kind of be focused more on community and like humanitarian things and like technology. We see already like how online is booming, right? It's like the way to go. It's the way that the world is moving. Air energy is connected to tech. So it's really, really interesting to see all these things happen. I think there's going to be a major shift. Obviously, nothing's going to happen overnight. But if you've been feeling kind of like this, what's going on? I feel something, what's happening? That type of energy, you very well may be feeling that, okay? And then we also have a full moon coming up in your sign on the 29th, which I'll probably talk more about in January, even though that is happening in December. It's really more Capricorn energy stuff, or Capricorn season stuff, so I think we'll probably talk more in depth then. Boom. Now, I already told you this month is a lot about your sixth house energy stuff, which has to do about your work and all of that. And the bottom of the deck, the unseen energy you have is the Emperor. I like this. This is about taking control. I do feel like a lot of you guys are taking control in exactly what it is that you want to do for work, where you see yourself, taking initiative, really showing up, stepping up your game, being a boss, maybe even some promotions, that type of thing. But I really feel like this Emperor is more emphasizing taking control in general. Like, Cancers, you guys have had a really good, last year was great for you. This year started out pretty good. And then, of course, with everyone going through what everyone's going through collectively, you know, things have happened. There's been some sad breakups, some sad missings of the peoples for you guys and everybody else. And that is apparent here. But I do feel like this is a month where you guys are going to start taking more control. I think there's been a lot of ideas floating that you guys have probably had, but there's also this fear of fill in the blank because it could be so many different things. And I say that because you guys actually start out with Page of Wands, right? So you got Page of Wands, you've got the Devil connected to Capricorn, your polar opposite, and then you've got the Five of Cups. Let me tell you that one's too. Then you've got this Five of Swords, which is actually in your environment. You've got the Nine of Pentacles. You've got the Justice and the Nine of Wands both popped out together. Okay. Interesting. Some of you guys don't like the way something was handled in the past. Some of you guys are at a place where, and of course, take this as it resonates. It may be you that I'm talking about. It may be the opposite person, but there is this, this sense of taking accountability. And although I don't think that this was an easy thing for you in the past, it feels like you're actually feeling the full weight of what this is now. You got the Five of Cups and the Five of Swords. Those are hard energies to be in. The Five of Swords, it's clear to me that there's someone in your space, or maybe not even your space, I don't even feel like you're talking to them, but there's someone who's on your mind that you've probably been thinking about and you're afraid that they won't want to talk to you. If it is an air sign, specifically a Libra, because we have this Justice here with that Nine of Wands, right? They don't. Not right now. I think they're still trying to process it all as well. Going back to what I said in the very beginning of this video about if there's something that you need to talk about with someone, later is going to be more effective, right? Because I think with, you know, I think Venus is now finally in Sagittarius, but there's going to be a point, you know, here like on the 15th where Venus, the Sun, and Mercury are all in Sag. And I think that that's just a little bit more conducive to have healthy conversations where you actually find resolve rather than just spewing and throwing up old emotion and anger, which quite possibly this could be, you know, whether it's you or whether it's them. Now, Page of Wands is a very, you know, pages are new energy. They're very young. They're very much trying to explore the world around them. They're curious, right? This is, you know, a time that's exciting. And I think you guys have a lot of new ideas. I think you feel inspired in new ways. I think that the time that a lot of you Cancers have spent alone in these last couple months have been really healthy for you. Sure, they've been quite hard for some of you, but in many ways they've been helpful because you're able to be clearer, right? If you don't have people around to distract yourself with and you don't have other people's issues to distract yourself with, then you're just left to deal with you. And I think that's what you guys have done. The problem lies, though, with this Devil card, because that's about a power struggle. That's about something still having power over you. It could be about low vibrational thoughts. It could be about connections, but I just get the feeling with this Devil being right next to this Five of Cups, I feel like you guys are still stuck to something. And again, let's say it's an old relationship. It doesn't necessarily mean you want to go back to that old relationship, but even if it's not that, I just feel like you guys feel like something wasn't handled properly. It wasn't handled in the ideal way. Oh, but you guys missed them. Okay, so with the Page of Wands, you guys have the Knight of Wands. There is this, there's this travel that's on the board, right? Knights always travel. They're always exploring new things. They're always on the move, shaking and moving. And again, this time alone has been important for you guys, your overall growth, even if there was no travel indicated. This is about doing new things, being okay with, you know, making decisions based on how you feel and not somebody else, right? That's major for you guys. Cancers like never think about themselves first, right? And that's always the problem. right? So sometimes Cancers can find themselves in situations, especially relationships, they don't even know how the hell they got there. And although it might be okay, they don't even know if they really want to be there. So I think that this last few months, a lot of you guys are getting very clear on what that is. And a lot of you guys have been feeling a pull to something. For some of you guys, this could be an ex. But what has been getting in the way? Now, Knight of Cups is clarifying the Devil card. Maybe it's a Capricorn. Maybe it's not. I do feel like there's this pull, though. I feel like where you guys have tried to move on, and we've had this talk, I feel like a couple times at least, there's something that still pulls you back. Knight of Wands could also be about an apology. Or I'm sorry, Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is an apology sometimes. It can be a love offer, but this can also be like, yo, let's like, you know, hug it out. I'm sorry, my bad. But there is, you guys have been doing a lot of work on yourselves. And like even look at how this Page of Wands is looking at the Devil. Like looking like, how can I break this down? How can I chip this monster down? I think that's what you guys have been doing. But now it leaves you in this place where you're like, yo, ooh, that could have gone about, I could have gone about that a different way, right? Five of Cups energy is about looking at the past and feeling sad about it or guilty about it or bad about it, but not realizing there's still two cups over here. So yes, there was a hard time. Yes, there was a disappointment. Yes, it might even be your fault. Might be their fault. It might, who knows? And I don't want to say fault, but I'm saying fault because that's how I'm hearing you guys say it. My fault, my fault. Not that. I mean, every experience is there for us to learn from and do better from the next time. Nothing is, you know, a done data. This isn't something that isn't fixable. Especially if your aim is just to make things right for you. I don't know. It feels like you guys want to reach out and talk to someone, but there is real fear that they are not fucking with you. Right? There's this longing for someone. Five of Cups, that is about missing someone. You know, you guys have really been in this space, Queen of Cups, of feeling, and again, that Scorpio energy, feeling all the things. And some of it feels really, really heavy. And some of you guys are definitely missing someone. But with this Emperor as your unseen energy, I do feel like this is a month where you guys are going to start taking more initiative towards that instead of just being like, oh, because I feel like some of you guys are almost being like Eeyore, like, this happened, but you know, I'm just unlucky in love. It's just the life of a donkey. And no, it feels like things are really, really shifting, but you almost had to. You know what? I will say, though, what I like with this Page of Wands, because Page of Wands also inspires new ideas and new things too, right? I think that this is, if this is something like a conversation that you guys feel like you need to have or something you need to reconcile or just make right, use this time right now to do that. I do like, because I could tell you one thing, if there's a conversation that you need to have with a certain person, this Five of Swords energy, and you just coming at them and don't really have anything to say, that is not going to work. That is not going to work. And you're going to get roasted most likely, because this is what it feels like. And let's say that this kind of does fall more on your shoulders, right? What I will say, Cancer, it doesn't feel like anything that went wrong in the past was malicious. It's almost like whatever happened is stuff that can happen when we're not being honest and upfront and like taking initiative and just kind of letting life happen to us, right? It feels like that. Like if you look at this Five of Swords, here homegirl is in the front. She's holding both the swords, right? She's holding three swords actually. So she had hers, right, in her one hand. She's holding two because y'all two in the back or whoever two, like they weren't holding their weight. They weren't picking up their swords and communicating and saying their truth. So it's almost like this, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how else to describe it, except it feels like if something went wrong in terms of a relationship, friendship, whatever, if the ball was dropped, it doesn't feel like it was maliciously. It feels like it's really more out of fear. It was more out of fear. And now, let's say you haven't talked to this person because this is no communication. I feel like you guys haven't been talking, or if you have, it's been very, very little. You know, sometimes you can let a thing go for so long and then you feel fucking stupid. You let it go for so long that you feel stupid to bring it up, so then you just keep letting it go longer. That kind of thing. Ace of Cups. For many of you guys, this was a relationship, and this person really did/does love you. And even if they are being distant, and even if they aren't talking to you, oh, they still love you. Two of Cups. They're just deeply hurt. It's almost like they got to a point where it's like, look, this is just not going anywhere. It's not being productive, and I'm trying and I'm efforting and I can't effort. And yeah, I still love them, but I'm going to love them from over here. Right? I could take my love at a distance and then like hopefully transform that shit into like a universal love for them instead of being in love with them. That's what it feels like. It's like, well, I tried. I have 3 swords. They're holding nothing. I'm trying to communicate. They're not. I'm trying to, it just feels like it could quite possibly be something that Cancer, you just weren't ready for at the time. And I think a lot of it has to do with fear, because for some of you guys, this is something that was really, really beautiful and true. But Cancer, a lot of you guys have a history of not being in relationships like that. So then you see something like this and it's in your face and you can't believe it. And then so you don't fully take advantage of that, right? And you underestimate it. And then it's like, oh shit, it's gone. Oh wow, they really were who they said they were, you know, or whatever. And again, this can be vice versa. I'm just telling you the story. This is what it feels like. Sorry, I'm irresponsible, so my camera died. All right, so where were we? Yes, we were just talking about the 5 of Swords being clarified by the Ace of Cups, and how it feels like there's someone who is deciding to love you from afar based on, simply put, not knowing what else to do with you and not knowing what else to do with the situation. Like I said before, the focus for you guys this month is really about your daily routines, your work, your career, all of that. And we see emphasis with that with the 9 of Pentacles, right? 9 of Pentacles is the single ladies card. It's about taking good care of yourself, both financially, mentally, emotionally. This is a really good time for those of you guys who've been feeling stuck to get into a new routine, possibly start, you know, eating a little bit better, a little bit more clean if you can, or at least keeping that more into balance with the holidays around, right? Not going too crazy. Also, really getting your body active. Those of you guys who've been feeling really sluggish, a lot of that has to do with your lack of movement. So get up, get moving, even if it's just a walk around the corner, something just to get you moving and going. And, you know, that's a mood booster as well. So really, really good for you guys. 2 of Pentacles is clarifying that. So it's just so interesting because this whole time, like, it feels like for you guys, really the focus is really about you and your work, right? But I feel like you guys can't help to think about this other stuff. You know, work and all that, that is the priority. I think right now, all that you can really do is just kind of gather your thoughts, kind of get your strategy together if reaching out is something you are planning to do with someone else. And either way, no matter how it goes, no matter how they take it, no matter how the discussion lands, you have to be okay with what is, right? 2 of Pentacles is really about kind of weighing up the options and like looking at what we value and deciding what it is that we value. So what I do like is where Cancer is always so accommodating, and a lot of times will focus attention on things that other people need or other people's wants. It feels like right now you're really in a place of, okay, what do I need to do? How do I feel? What do I want? And that's going to really be influential in the way that you make your decisions going forward. Some of you guys might be going back on certain things and kind of reviewing now that you're in this different space and you've had time to, you know, mull things over and to really feel your feels. So this is really, really good. I think overall you guys are putting yourself first. Of course, work is going to be growing. I think that's really, really good for you guys. But if you guys want it to grow even more, really pay attention to your daily routines. Really pay attention to your daily habits. It's like everything that you do is going to compound into something either way. So either you're creating good habits and doing good things that will bring you more success and more abundance, or you can be in a stuck energy. But I feel like you guys are going to be prevailing. The stuckness with the personal relationships, that might be one thing. But I do feel like there is going to be a second chance to maybe have a conversation or look at something a little bit more in depth, right? Again, like I said, if you guys are dealing with an air sign, or if there's an air sign person who maybe you had some things that were unresolved, maybe you feel like they're avoiding you a little. Yeah, I think they are. I think they're focusing on them right now. I think they are just trying to figure out how to move on, right? Again, there's no love lost. There's still Ace of Cups here. So there is still this, if you're thinking like, do they still care? Do they, do they still love me? Yeah. But they don't know what to do with you. What is there to do with you? It's like you put everything on pause, right? I do feel like there will be an opportunity for reaching out though. Look at how, though, this Nine of Wands is looking at the Justice card. There's a lot of fear behind here. So if we can just kind of get over the mental blocks of fear, Cancer, you can at the very least resolve something so that you can feel like you can move on from the situation. Wow. The world. Clarifying it. This is like the next step to this is the next step, right? This is the next step. So death and rebirth. Yes. You guys have gone through quite a transformation. And I can see with these cards how things have played out. I can see how you guys have gotten here. It makes total sense. But if you feel like it's too late and they won't ever talk to you again or you'll never see them again, no, it's not necessarily true. You can absolutely reach out. I would wait though, because I feel like they'll be able to receive it a little bit better mid-month, end of the month, even top of the year, because what it feels like is right now they might still be in a place where there's still that sting, right? Where they can't quite process exactly what it is that you're saying. And maybe you can't even quite clearly process exactly until you've really felt all your feels and kind of placed them down so you can look at them from a different perspective, right? Now, Oracle cards, Cancer, you got Throne. Your potential is endless. Okay? So if you're feeling defeated, if you're feeling beat up, if you're feeling like there's nothing you can do, your potential is endless. I think it's up to you to kind of think outside the box, right? Only person that could stop you is you. If you're wondering if someone from the past is thinking about you, yeah, they are. But are they going to say anything? No, they're not. Because I think it feels like for them, they've tried. They've tried, they've efforted in many ways that they feel like they can. And so it's like, it's kind of just on you now, Cancer. Again, this could be flip-flopped, but I'm just saying how I feel it, okay? Now, 2 oracle cards came out. We take them both. One says, when I'm connected to my joyful presence, I attract support from the universe. Okay? Trying to stay in that happy place. You got that 5 of Cups energy happening, and I want you guys to not hold on to guilt, not hold on to things that didn't go right, right? It was all learning lessons. Like, it's all lessons to do better the next time. And I don't feel like all hope is lost if you want to reach out to this person. Like I said, I don't necessarily feel like there's relationships starting out for everybody or like picking back up for everybody, but there is this sense of relief if you could just get something off of your chest, right? Because it feels like there's something didn't sit right with the way things ended. Now, there's nothing sexier than my authentic truth. Yes, I agree. So you guys will have a chance to speak your truth if you've been thinking that chance is gone. Now, savings. As you consistently save for your future is saved. You do your future self a big favor as you consistently set aside present funds. This is part of your self-care and path to feeling secure as you focus upon your life purpose. Beautiful. So be mindful of your money. I know it's holiday season, but just don't do too much. And then you also got heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. So as I've said, there's obviously an elephant in the room that needs to be addressed. And I think that this month you can address it. I would wait a little bit till everyone's in a better place of not feeling so emotional and vulnerable with that Scorpio energy, right? Wait till the planets leave Scorpio. So wait till about that 15th mark where communication will be a little bit easier, right? And understanding and comprehension of that communication can be, taken in the way it needs to, right? Because ooh, imagine feeling all this stress and wanting to talk to somebody about something and then you finally do it and it isn't even able to be received. So that's what I got for you, Cancer. I hope that this helps. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for supporting me all throughout this year. And I'll see you next year. Bye, Cancer.